I drink my beer out of a can like a real person. Cheers. Here's to another podcast. Hopefully this one is not as shit as the previous, how many we've done.
Yeah, I was embarrassed. Oh, it's an interesting noise there with the can. Is that why you kept the can?
Nah, well, I didn't really foresee that happening. I just kind of thought I would easily be able to drink this, but it turns out it makes a horrible sound on the microphone as I'm trying to drink it.
Well, because I was thinking with production, you know, you can dodge the mic with a glass.
You know what we should have is straws. We should be drinking our
Plastic
beer from
ones.
straws. Oh, definitely not plastic ones. Do I look like a fucking Nazi to you?
No.
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 I'm not going to drink out of a plastic straw. That's ridiculous. Do you know how many turtles have died from straws going up their noses?
I know of one.
Trillions of turtles.
Is that true?
Well, there was that one on that video, but that
Yeah.
was just a microcosm of the real
I
issue.
thought the main killer of turtles was the beer packs. The rings in the beer packs, not so much the straws.
No, I think that was dolphins.
Oh, was that dolphins? Was that,
Yeah.
Were they hitting that like a glory hole and then they couldn't get back out of it?
I'm not sure. I think they were just shoving their heads in it. I think the six-pack rings, they didn't really pose a problem for turtles because turtles have like quite small necks.
Yeah.
They have like the circumference of their neck it's relatively small.
Yeah.
So if they
Not much
get a
bigger
six-pack ring on their head, over their head, then they're fine. They can just wear it like a scarf or something.
Ends up being quite cool, like a cape.
Yeah, well, not that cool because it's plastic in the ocean.
And they don't need it because they got a shell.
Yeah, and they've got a shell. But what the fuck was I talking about?
Well, you mentioned that you liked rubbing your steel can up against your fluffy dog.
Oh no, I don't like doing that, but that's what happened.
We've got an agenda here. We've managed to form an agenda for the podcast and approach some of the things of the day.
Really? What is that? Did you make this up?
There's the King of the Back Door.
King of the Back Door.
Which
What's that about?
It's the Raglan Surf Comp that happened on the weekend. You were in that.
Ah, yes, that's right. I was in that.
Yeah.
I was actually two-time defending champion of that event.
What happened on the weekend?
Well, I didn't defend my title. I was going for the hat trick, and it's quite a tricky thing to do. I mean, you wouldn't understand it. Most of the people listening or watching this would have no fucking idea what it's like to even go back-to-back or even win a competition. But I was trying to do, the damn near impossible, which is go the trifecta, get the hat trick, get back-to-back-to-back wins in a surfing event. And with all the variables that are thrown at you when surfing in a contest, I mean, it was going to be damn near impossible. And if there was anyone that could have done it, it was going to be me, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but the problem
You've
I
proven
faced...
that back to back before.
Yeah, back to back.
You're the king of the back.
I only needed to do one more back. So
True.
I had the back to back and then to back.
That's right.
Back
again.
Yeah. So I needed one back, but the problem was not my back. It was my foot, my toe.
What happened?
I was struck with gout, wasn't I?
Oh, that gout really brings down the best athletes sometimes. You can't beat it no matter how good your skills are, no matter how much determination and drive you've got and passion for that specific event. Gout will bring you down.
Gout will always get you, and that's why they call it the disease of legends.
Yeah. Yeah, Muhammad Ali had it. So did Mufasa.
I don't know who that was.
That was who Scar threw off the cliff in Lion King. And when he latched down onto his hands, wasn't the claw going in, it was where his gout was.
No. That's you're talking absolute shit. There's no way that animals can get gout. It's actually just a human disease.
We're not an animal, a biologist.
Well, we are, but from what I've heard, we are the only animals that do get gout.
Do the animals get what else do we only get?
I'm not sure. I only really know about gout because it's what affects me. I don't really give a shit about anything else that's happening with anyone else.
Other dogs can get cold sores. I know that.
Can they?
Yep.
I feel like we're really kind of getting off topic, and now we're talking about animals and their disabilities, or And what was that we were talking about? No, my gout. So I got gout, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
It's when you have too much fish.
It's not. That's not what it is. So gout is a form of arthritis, which you'd look at someone like me, a fit, young, strapping, extremely athletic man,
Handsome.
man, handsome. Yeah, we'll throw all those
Tall.
together. Tall, gorgeous, and you wouldn't think that I would suffer from any form of arthritis. But the thing
No.
with gout is it's so indiscriminatory. It'll hit anyone because it's a genetic thing. And if you're predisposed to getting gout, like, have you ever heard of the term "fucked at birth"?
Yeah.
So that's
There's
what
a couple
happens.
of videos on that.
Yeah, that's what happens. No, you're thinking of something different. But that's what happens with some people. They're just genetically predisposed to being a gout carrier or a gout sufferer.
So it's in their bloodlines.
It's in their bloodlines, and that's
Oh.
unfortunately what's happened to me. Even though I am, young, healthy, extremely gorgeous and athletic, I still suffer from gout.
And you've got clean bloodlines right up through your family?
Well, clearly not, because I've got gout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay. And that's what stopped you getting the three-peat? Is
That's-
that what it was?
Yeah, that's what it was.
What were the scores
That's what it
like?
was.
What happened with the scoring? Because I
Well-
can't imagine you get lower scores in your heats than anyone else.
No, well, I mean, most of the time I don't, and that's why I was back-to-back champion, because, most heats I was getting higher scores than everyone else, and that's what you need to win an event, is you need the higher scores than the other people that you're surfing against. And most of the time I do that, right? But unfortunately, in this last event, when I was suffering gout, I was carrying gout, I wasn't getting those higher scores than other people. And I don't know what it was. I mean, some people may say that it was my lack of wave
Fitness.
selection.
Weight.
Yeah,
Could have been your weight, fitness.
There are so many variables that you could throw at it to determine why I didn't succeed and why I didn't get the three-peat. But it was gout. It was definitely gout.
Wow. And you don't think that is there an opportunity for maybe allowing a gout factor in your scoring? You know, maybe they should just go, well, look, he couldn't physically, like a Paralympian.
That's what I was hoping for, and that's why I was limping around the competition site.
Nice.
I was
Crutches?
I didn't have crutches.
Wheelchair.
No, I considered a wheelchair.
Yeah.
But,
Get some ramps
well, I didn't
so
need-
that you can get into the water.
that
like
would
a
have
boat ramp.
Like a boat ramp. Well, there already is. There's a pre-existing boat ramp at Manu Bay, and I mean that probably would have been overly dramatic if I'd taken a wheelchair with my surfboard underarm and wheeled myself down into the boat ramp. Although it may have given me some sympathy points, and that's maybe where I was lacking, because although I was limping around the competitors area, I don't feel like I really displayed that in front of the judges enough. I did it in front of the beach marshal, which is a person that gives you your rash shirt and tells you the criteria and all that sort of thing. I did it in front of them, but I felt like they didn't really give a fuck. Which was really sad, because it's a disability. It's a severe disability.
It's a disability. Yeah, you need to be looked after.
Yeah, and there was no handicap for me,
which is disappointing.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm thinking like maybe if this continues, then I don't know. I've thought of going in the Paralympics.
Yeah.
Well, not the Paralympics, but the one where people limping. There's a lot of people limping.
Surfing's in the Olympics now, and there's a Paralympics, so I'm sure that there might be a Paralympic stage. And it's lovely to hear that at Manu Bay there's a boat ramp for the disabled people to get in the water.
Well, yeah, there is. And, sorry. But I was just thinking, most people don't even understand how bad gout is and how debilitating it is.
Where is it?
It can affect your whole body, but most of the time it settles down in your feet, because gravity brings it down from your upper region of your body, and gravity pushes it down into your feet. Usually you get it in your big toe. I've had it in my knees, my feet. I've had it in my elbow, that was really not very comfortable. But it's essentially a build-up of uric acids in your body. If you don't know what uric acids is, Google it, because I don't know what it is and I can't remember. It's a build-up of uric acids, and then they form crystals, needle-shaped crystals in your joints. So it's extremely painful and uncomfortable.
Sounds very much like bone spurs that the Norfolk Island people get. The
It's
ancestral
not, no.
bloodlines that you end up getting bone spurs on the end of your joints, and you sort of have to hunch over and you're in pain a lot. It sounds like that.
Yeah, it doesn't really sound like that. That sounds more bone-orientated.
Oh, okay, sorry. These are the crystals that settle at the
These are
ends of the
crystals.
bones and around the joints?
Yes, not all in
Or
the
just
joints.
in the
joints. And people have compared it to childbirth, to labour.
It's probably worse.
Yeah, or me. I compared it to that.
I've watched a couple
Is
of
that
births
fair?
now.
I've never. I mean, I've heard that childbirth is very painful, but then
Look,
I've
I
never
don't know.
given childbirth, and I have had gout, and I know how excruciatingly painful having gout is.
I watched.
And so I think it's a fair comparison.
Yeah. Well, I would suggest that gout's much worse.
Oh, it is much worse. Because you don't get anything positive out of having gout. At the end of the day, you don't have some beautiful gift from the heavens above in a child. You have nothing. You don't get anything positive out of it. Do you know you can't even drink alcohol or eat shellfish or do anything really positive when you have gout? If you go into childbirth, you have a beautiful. You may be blessed with a child, much like myself. You know,
a new little inbred with gout.
New life.
Yeah.
It's the most majestic, beautiful thing that can happen.
They're not allowed to drink alcohol or eat shellfish if you're pregnant too, though. So they're not great examples.
Ah, fuck, that's right, eh?
But
yeah, there's a lot of restrictions.
They have a lot of people around them helping them. You can choose a water birth. They'll cut it out your abdomen. They'll put the clamps and help slide it out your vagina. You know, where is your help when you've got gout?
Nothing.
No, they have
Do you know what happens?
after-birth, aftercare.
I get fucking ridiculed.
And then they go on about how fucking hard it is. 9 months. 9 months. You only spent 3 months pregnant. The first 6, no one even knew.
Is that? Yeah, well, that's most of the time. And you know what the horrible thing about having gout is, right? How long's childbirth? How long's labour? What are we talking? 6 hours? 7 hours?
6 to 12 or some shit.
Half an hour for some people. Man, you get gout.
I keep shooting at
You
the
get
pokies.
gout, lasts for an entire week, sometimes 2 weeks. I've had a sore foot for 2 weeks now.
Oh, you haven't heard any woman talk about
And
labour for 2 weeks?
Do you know how many people have like written me notes and stuff
14
and sent me
days.
flowers? Yeah, no one, not a single person. All I get is fucking ridicule from my friends laughing at me. They're like, "Oh, you've got gout. You're an old man." It's like, go fuck yourself. I'm in a lot of pain. This is worse than childbirth.
Yeah, yeah, and then it also costs you your title.
It cost me my fucking title. Do you know how many people? Do you know how many people have done a 3-peat trifecta hat trick in the Backdoor Pro?
I don't know anyone that's gone 3
None.
times top of the back door.
One.
No.
But gout took me down. Gout took me out. And people just thought it was funny. They laughed at me. Like, you're a fucking loser. You couldn't even get a trifecta. You couldn't get the hat trick.
Yeah, no, it's a kind of an illness.
And no one laughs at women giving birth to children.
No. No, they're all
They
supportive.
fucking praise them.
Yeah, yeah. You have to massage their back and scratch their feet. Anyway.
What else do we have on the agenda? I feel like I got really carried away talking about
who won the Backdoor Pro? Who's the king of the Backdoor?
Oh, fuck. Billy.
What, that
Billy.
real hot guy from
He's not
Raglan?
hot. He's just got good hair.
The one that's in the New Zealand Olympic team. And
Yeah, he's
won
in the Olympic.
multiple
the same
national
guy.
titles.
We talked about it the other day. We talked about
Goes
it on
left
the
and
last
right.
podcast, didn't we? And I said,
Big
this is
power
why...
turns, barrels, ears. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he's pretty good. But I was talking about this last podcast, is saying why Billy wins events.
Is he the
Because
king of
he's easy. You know, he's easy. He's not offensive. He's good on the eyes. He surfs well enough to win. And
He's a poster boy, pin-up.
He is.
He's
He is a poster boy for New Zealand.
He could have an
surfing.
OnlyFans account. I'd sign up to that.
Would you?
Yeah, yeah.
I thought about doing an OnlyFans, but it would just be essentially the same content that I produce anyway, but just get people to
Pay
me
for it
money
like
for
directly.
I might take my top off, but that's probably where it is.
You don't have to be sexual in OnlyFans.
No, I know.
And getting your top off isn't. But you can just do tips, you know, how good you are, teach me how to go left.
Have you ever done an OnlyFans, or not done one, but have you ever seen one?
Oh, I'm registered to about 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's this chick, actually. This chick, or should I say woman? She's an empowered woman, this Australian lass, and she's got a... Well, it's not an OnlyFans. She says it's her own website, and I follow her because... Not because she's got, like, big tits, but just because I find it quite intriguing to see how she kind of communicates with her fan base on Instagram. And
What's her message? What she's sort of sharing?
Her main thing is she's just really trying to empower women and empower fellow surfing women by kind of normalizing showing your vagina and masturbating in front of thousands of strangers on the internet.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's good though. Someone will be picking up the points she's trying to get across and using them to better their world. So that's nice. I'd have a similar person as Paige Renee in golf. It's not because she's
okay.
got big tits, and when she
Yeah.
leans over to drive the ball, it's not because they hang in there.
But is she doing like live masturbatory videos on the internet where she gets people to subscribe and pay for the
No,
viewership?
no.
No.
No, I
Yeah, well,
think
that's what this girl's doing.
She probably should consider that, just as a, another way to make money.
Well, it seems like
String
a
to the bow.
good money maker. Like this girl empowered woman, who's doing it. This is an Australian lass. Woman.
Is she
empowered
Australian?
Woman. She's an Australian
Fuck.
empowered woman, and she's got like a cool truck. She's got a nice. She showed off her car. I was just like, if that's what doing.
What do you mean by truck?
I mean like an automobile, right?
Oh,
And I just thought, fuck, if that's what you can do, if you can empower women to be comfortable with their own bodies and their own sexuality by masturbating in front of a bunch of strange men on the internet and make money out of it and buy a cool truck, then, I just thought that was extremely empowering. And I had a lot of respect for this empowered woman.
yeah. And good and cool. Well, she obviously taken the right parts of that. That's what she was trying to get across, and she's doing that job well. If you're taking those points, that's cool.
Yeah, well, she must be doing well because
What's
she
her-
keeps doing it. And
shall
like I said,
do you think I should follow her and sort of gain some
yeah, give it a go. Her name's Ellie. I think it's Ellie Jean Coffee.
Ellie Jean Coffee?
She's got 3 names.
How much is it a month?
I'm not sure. I haven't actually subscribed. I think it's not much. Like, what's the usual one? Like $39.95 or something like that.
Chop and change. Some of the
Yeah,
American
chop and
gets
change.
US dollars, and then you go to the Russian girls. They're pretty cheap.
Yeah, I think she had a discount code for 20% off. But
Really? If you
Yeah.
mention your name.
no. I think it was Fingerbang69.
Oh yeah.
Was the code, and
Okay.
you put that on in there, and it's just empowering stuff, really.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's really good. And I do worry about the internet getting too sexual, actually. I found myself highly addicted to pornography a few months back. Very bad. Way worse than that runner who came out with the bad addiction.
Was there a runner with bad?
Yeah, New Zealand runner.
addiction?
That's
That's right. I remember
He
that.
used
Who
to
was
run the
that?
800, 1500. Walker? No, not Walker. That was the real famous guy. I can't remember his name. Pakeha lad. Nice enough bloke, but, heavily into tube galore. And I found myself in a very similar position 3 or 4 months ago. And the way I tried to wean off it was hard copy. Going back to hard copy.
Oh, going old school.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
just sort of throw that out to anyone struggling with that.
Do you know that's what hipsters are going back to now?
Hard copy.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
they're going retro.
yeah.
They're going back to old, like, 1960 Playboys for their,
Yeah.
masturbatory fuel.
I tell you what, some of the way that they structure some of those paragraphs and the words they use to create an image in your mind, unbelievable. Something you can't recreate on video.
No, you can't get that through moving
It's
imagery.
like Avatar, some of the stuff that's going on in my brain
Mm.
when I read these sentences about...
That's also what I like. I like to
plumbing.
use my imagination. I don't like everything just handed to me.
No,
I like to be able to,
you don't have to work for it when it's right there.
I like to be able to, like, bite off a bit of steak or a
Yeah.
Jack Link's bar and just chew on it, enjoy the flavour, and then digest it.
That's right.
I don't want to just have a fucking smoothie.
Yeah,
You know?
like a meat smoothie.
Like
Blend
a
it up,
smoothie, like
chonk.
chuck it in, blend it, boom, there's all your protein,
shot.
your nutrients, your minerals, just straight, and you don't enjoy it. You don't enjoy the process,
Yeah.
It's just like you haven't gone through all the work to chew it and digest it, but,
And with-
that's part of the fun, and that's why I think we need to go back to analog and, invest more time in reading old school pornography like Penthouse or those little forum books or whatever they were. They're just great storytelling.
Yes, oh, absolutely. And it just, with the way that it's served up these days, pornography on the internet, you can get through 8 to 10 a day, sessions. But old school, when you've got to, push through 15 minutes of reading and then find the parts that really get you going, wherever it is in the plumbing story or the real estate agent story, wherever.
Well, the priest.
Priest, that's right. That's a really good one. So it's much more fulfilling and living in the now rather than just wham, bam, bash, bosh, 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 and by the end of the day you're just almost a bit sore.
Yeah, but that's the society we live in now. It's just everything is just mass produced
Yeah.
and it's just readily available all the time. Like, here it is. Like, get it. Go and get your bloody cheesburger.
That's
You
right.
fucking
Apps.
It's got everything at your fingertips, and it's the same with like adult entertainment, I guess.
And it's nice too because you can take the staples out of the middle and then you can put the posters up on your wall.
Yeah, I've never done that, but I guess that's something you could do. And you know what? We've had some feedback actually. Had some feedback lately.
What from?
Well, someone was actually referring to this, what we're talking about here, and they were saying that you
Who? Me?
you use too much sexual innuendo. Yeah. They were saying that you're too like hypersexualized or something, and that maybe this isn't really the right kind of.
This is a person on the internet.
Yeah, someone on the internet said this.
What? Who? Why? Okay, hold on. That complaint? Is it a complaint? Is it an official complaint?
I don't know.
Is it sort of more a feedback forum?
I'm not sure if it's a complaint or just an observation.
We probably need to set up a complaints procedure so that if it's an official complaint, then we can handle that. Or if it's just feedback and online bullying, fine.
It's hard to determine. It's hard to differentiate the two. But from what I took,
what would you call it?
It was he just said, "Hey, Luke uses too much sexual innuendo." He didn't really specify which Luke it was. I mean, I'm just assuming that it was you because you do use a lot of sexual innuendo.
Shall I return to the agenda? Because I think we're pretty much on track. We've hit. I think the topics are on here. I just can't see them written. The WSL is coming back. You just wanted to let people know that the World Surf League's coming back to to the world.
Yeah,
it's going to happen.
Yeah, so that's happening, and that's going to be good. Because there's a lot of people out there that really enjoy watching surfing competitions. I do enjoy watching surf. I like watching the highlights because, I mean, if you'd seen that video I did last week when I was at a surfing competition, I was kind of saying that it's like watching paint dry, watching a surf competition.
It is
but
quite
it's not
slow
the case.
at times.
It is not the case for every surfing competition. Not every surfing competition is like watching paint dry. However, the surfing events in small waves can be extremely tedious.
Shit. Yeah.
They fucking suck a bag of dicks.
Yeah.
But like if you have an event at Pipeline where it's 6 to 8 foot, is that a fucking dog?
Well, I'm just worried. There's 2 babies and my dog over in the driveway.
Has he mauled a child to death?
No, he's bitten a kid on the hand.
He has bitten a kid.
He bit a kid pretty badly. Wolf, get close. Those babies are not for biting. Get on over here. Fuck, he does not.
Why is he baring his teeth? Does he always bare his teeth like that?
I don't know. He's just his own man. Never get a French bulldog.
He looks fucking grumpy.
Stupid
You've
fucking
told
petri dish dog.
He looks grumpy.
God, I hate him. Anyway,
back to the Pipeline Masters. Yeah, so the Pipeline Masters kicks off in about a month's time.
That's exciting. Who's the best in the world now? Who's the current champ?
Isilo Ferreira.
Oh yeah.
He is the reigning Pipe Masters champion as well.
What's he good at?
He is good. He's got bleach blonde hair.
Is he hot as?
He's got a pretty good rig, actually. I follow him on Instagram, and he does quite a few. If you've seen Billy Stearman, does gym workouts and stuff, and posts it on Instagram, and that's what Isilo Ferreira does. But he's got a much better, tighter rig than
way
Billy
better
does.
physique. Yeah,
much better than Billy, and that's probably why Isilo's done a lot better in his career and is current world champion.
Is the World Surf League very similar to the New Zealand surfing culture, where they put the poster boy at the front and not let actual quality high-end surfers like yourself win comps?
In that regard, I'd say it's quite different because you have Isilo Ferreira, and he hasn't really been the poster boy for surfing. John Florence has been for the last few years, so he's been the shining beacon of hope for American surfing, and we all know American surfing, the US is
Hawaii.
It's the bigger industry, right? So they're going to be selling more product to the US.
Right. Yeah, true.
So that's why they're usually pushing forward
John
surfers from the States. Kelly Slater, he's 11 times world champion because he's from the States. Because if they push him forward, Quicksilver, when he was riding for Quicksilver, then Quicksilver are happy because they're making more money having the 11 times world champion. If they have more money, then they can put that money into sponsoring events.
So is it harder from someone from a small country to be the best in the world because they're up against the corporate battle?
Well, that's exactly right. And you'll notice that New Zealand, we don't currently have a surfer on the world tour. We've only had 2 guys ever make it onto the world tour. That's because we don't fit the right market. We're too small. There's only a population of 5 million here, and I'm not even sure what the surfer population is. Like 300,000. So if you look at it like that, we're just not going to be selling product. No. So there's no point in the WSL pushing New Zealand surfers through onto the tour.
Drop Ricardo, get him out. Maz later.
Yep.
Just, you don't have it.
They don't
You're
have the
not American.
marketability. They're not.
What are you going to do? Sell a couple of rashies to Gizzy?
Exactly.
Fuck.
They're not pushing units. Most
No
of the
one
people
in
in
Gizzy's
Gisborne,
buying rashies.
no, they just steal shit in Gizzy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, not
No,
to
they
say bad things about Gisborne, but
No.
we know it's true.
Oh, mate, shit off.
But yeah, so that's essentially how professional surfing and the world tour works. It's all rigged. Children crying.
Hope that wasn't wolf biting. Okay, so that's done. You've done your feedback. Oh, merchandise. You've got some merchandise here. We're going to talk about the
back,
merchandise.
yeah.
Push that.
I mean, I don't really think we need to talk about the merchandise. I mean, it speaks for itself, really. You've got like just this really nice, heavy cotton, well-cut T-shirts, 100% cotton, with a print on the back and on the front, and they kind of speak for themselves, really. And then also you've got the hats, which are 100% cotton. They're quite thick, really nice, like kind of a dad cap sort of vibe to them, and
Really well embroidered.
yeah, really well. They're made by professional people that make stuff. And I mean, there's not really much more. Like, I didn't really want to talk about the merch.
So that was more just a note that to have merch there just to show that it is available and that people can buy it through the Raglan Surf Report.
Yeah,
rather than talk about it.
Yeah, I didn't want to talk about it,
Okay.
but yeah, because I don't feel like I didn't need to talk about it because it's kind of self-explanatory. Like, people already know that you can go to the Raglan Surf Report Shopify and buy it there, or on Instagram or on Facebook. And you can go through all those channels, and those teas are, I think they're about £25, Great British pounds, and the hats are, I think, 23 Great British pounds. Whatever that is in New Zealand or US currency, I'm not sure.
Just let your credit card do that. That does that.
The credit card will do that. I actually chose that because it was the lower number of any other currency.
Yeah. The Great British Pound.
Yeah, Great British Pound. I just made it up as £23 for the hat because it sounds less, sounds cheaper
Yeah.
than any other currency.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's where you can get it. So I didn't really need to say anything about the merchandise.
Okay.
But it is there and it is available. I've got all sizes. I've got black, there's army green, there's a tan, and then there's a white. So, I mean, that's
We
it.
won't
But
mention it.
We
We'll just
don't.
leave it
We
there.
don't need to talk
That's
about
cool.
it.
They
But
can see that online.
They can. You can
Okay.
purchase it online.
Well, what I just wanted to ask you, I guess it's finished. We had a big scare in Auckland for COVID.
Yes, there was.
I was on Queen Street on the day that the lady was running around super spreading, spitting on the curb, licking
I heard
the
she was
posts.
spitting everywhere.
She was a filth pot. Poor girl. And it's not her fault that she got it. But I was in the vicinity with 600 men up the road from Starbucks where she went, and she apparently threw her saliva all around Starbucks. And then the boys went there, grabbed their coffee, then came up back to the event where I was at. 50 of the 600 men went to Starbucks that day. And then when we got to the event where we were all embracing, spending a lot of time together.
So that was the same time
Same day.
this woman, the super spreader woman, had been in that Starbucks.
Yep.
In Queen Street.
Yep.
And
I was close with 50 to 60 men within a group of 600 men that went to Starbucks in and around that time.
Have you had a test? Have you been tested for the vid?
Yep.
Yeah. How did that go?
Yeah, I was fine.
You were fine. You didn't
Yep.
have it.
No, I didn't have it.
What was it like when they shoved up your schnoz?
Could
you feel the microchip going in there?
It's the deepest thing I've ever had in me.
Yeah.
It went right up my nose and round the back, and it's almost behind your eyeballs.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Because they lodge that microchip right up and behind, don't they?
Yeah. They leave it there, and now that tells you that you don't have COVID, plus where you're going and who you're texting and looking at and what you're doing and what you're buying and what your PIN numbers are and all that stuff as well.
Oh, that's sweet. And that's good that they do that and got it out of the way.
I actually would like to have it done every day. It really, really opens up all your holes in your face. Your balance between your ears and your sinus. It's like when you've got to pull a nail out of wood and it's got all the wood still wrapped around the screw and it won't screw anymore, and then you peel them off and the little curls.
Yeah.
It's like getting one of those ripped out through all your holes in your face.
Oh, okay.
So I recommend it to everybody.
Yeah, I don't really want to do it. And I feel like I don't really need to go and get a COVID test because
Is there any skiers in Raglan?
Well, no, we don't have. We haven't had a single case of COVID in Raglan.
Ever?
Never. In the history of COVID, the
Wow.
whole fucking history of COVID, we have not had a single case in or from Raglan.
In or from.
In or from. And I think that's because we've managed it so well.
Yeah. What have you guys done?
Well, we've just let it run its course.
Yeah.
You know, we've got a lot of anti-vaxxers in Raglan, and I love their motto, which is basically just, you know, c'est la vie.
Yeah.
Which essentially that's French for, you know, that's life.
Take
you know,
it.
shit
Yeah.
happens.
Take it.
And it's just, you know, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And so far it seems to be working perfectly fine because we're just, you know, relying on everyone else to figure it out for us. But I think one of the things is that we locked it down. We locked Raglan down when we went through lockdown.
Shut it off.
We shut it off. We
Set
shut
up
it
your
off.
own bubble.
And a lot of Raglan, what are they called?
Locals.
Locals. I guess they're locals, or you know, people who've been there for a couple of months or whatever. Like everyone is adamant about keeping people out of Raglan, especially people from Auckland, because Auckland people are the super spreaders, because that's where all the COVID is coming into. It's coming into Auckland. It's coming into the ports. It's coming into the airports, and we don't even have an international airport in Raglan. We don't have a port. We don't.
Can you fly to Raglan?
You can fly to Raglan on a tiny little like four berther, whatever the fuck they're called.
A glider.
Yeah,
maybe.
There is gliding there, but we don't have any of that. So we're not getting those COVID cases in Raglan.
Do you have a port?
We don't have a port. We do have an ocean, no port. But I think we've been lucky because we try to do what we can to deter people from coming to Raglan as well, which is, it's detrimental to the tourism industry, which Raglan definitely thrives on and needs. But, you know, the main thing is we don't have COVID in Raglan. I mean, even though there's only one case of COVID in New Zealand at the moment, but it's definitely not in Raglan.
Raglan would probably be the cleanest place in New Zealand right now when it comes to
you'd think so.
diseases.
Yeah, in terms of COVID.
Viruses?
In terms of COVID. Yeah, I mean, well, let's not get carried away.
Oh, is it riddled in other things?
Oh, well, it may be, it may not be. I'm not going to get into that because it could offend quite a few friends. But
I've spent a couple of nights in Raglan and I've come home looking a little worse for wear.
yeah, but that's alcohol. That's different. That's
Oh, I looked like I'd been stung by 1,000 wasps on my chest and down where my sort of abdomen leading to my snail trail.
really, what was that from?
Oh, just a big night in a camper van.
Big night in a camper van. I was going to say it could be from the
Raglan, though.
could be from the yacht. Oh no, I can't say that. Can't say that. This is one of the local bars there. I shouldn't talk about it. But yeah, I was just thinking, like, the only thing is, if we keep locking down Raglan and don't let anyone in there, and especially if another COVID-19 breakout happens, and then what happens when people get super paranoid and they're like, all right, we're going to shut this place off to everyone. No one's coming into Raglan ever. Like, this is our community and this is how it's going to stay. We're going to segregate ourselves from the rest of New Zealand, and we're essentially going to become our own
Gloria Vale.
We're going to become our own Gloriavale. And then you know what happens?
You have to make your own everything.
Yeah, and we're going to have extremely talented paddlers eventually.
And you're going to call yourselves like Mystic Lip Rider. Like your firstborn will be like Shelf Dropper. You know?
What are you talking about?
Well, you know how like they have special names when you're in a cult.
That's Raglan. People already have those names.
Oh yeah, like Chardonnay.
Yeah, Chandelier.
Chandelier.
Chandelier's a name.
I went to school with a girl named Philippa Box. Shout out, Philippa.
And there we go. So that's like, remember when we went through this before and talked about the sexual innuendo?
I fight this because that's fact. She's a twin. Her brother's Chris Box, and her name was Philippa Box, and it was really hard anytime she won an award not to laugh.
I think we're done.
Is that it?
I mean, how do we sign off on these things? I'm still, like, this is episode 29, I think. I still haven't figured out how the fuck podcasts work.
I think you
or
just
how you
say,
sign off.
If you made it to here, thank you. And what are you doing with yourself?
Yeah, if you made it to here...
Go stand in front of the mirror.
No, wait, no. All right. If you made it to here, thank you for listening. And thank you for supporting the Raglan Surf Report. And I hope you have had a good day, and I love you. But yeah, thanks for fucking yeah. This is the end. Just yeah, thanks.